All right, so let's get into some advanced voice techniques. So I'm going to start off right where I finished on the just simple setup A to Z. And with this one, I think we'll get into a couple custom webhooks. We'll get into the flow builder and start to populate some data and start to build this out for the use case of I'm actually going to use this as our inbound for sales. So let's go ahead and start it up. So I have two tabs of high level open. I just have here. I'm going to go to automations and then we'll open it up here. And then I have the assistant builder here. And so what we'll do is we'll go in here. You see left off right where we had it last time. And then we're going to go ahead and start to go with the flow builder here. I'm going to start building. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as an introduction state. So information collection, because this will mostly be used for inbound only really. And then I want to have a qualification state. And I'm going to say move to this state just when you're done with your first one. So this is just going to be a sequential conversation. So we have qualification, and then I'm going to end it with appointment booking. All right, 3 states here. The starting one, what we're going to do is the scenario I imagine is we put this on the website, maybe a lead magnet, something else, some way for a lead to call this number. And what we'll do is have the assistant answer the phone, figure out where they're coming from so we can do a little bit of attribution reporting, grab some information, their name and email. We'll move to qualification to learn a little bit more about them. We're going to store that information that we learn about them inside of GoHighLevel and then move to appointment booking. So it's the same exact setup as last time. So there's really nothing as far as like the integrations and all that need to change at this moment. I'm just going to work on the flow builder. And I'll link my prompt engineering guide inside a doc. I'll create a doc for these advanced settings. And again, as we build this out, even though this is quote unquote advanced, and we may even get into one for appointment confirmation, always remember that you want your assistant to be easy, simple, right? Like we can do this up as much as we want, but we don't want to overwhelm ourselves. We don't want to overwhelm the LLM model. We don't want to overwhelm a lead. We don't want to overwhelm a client. So the best way when you're building any AI is to kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid. As much as you can simplify it, right? And encompass most of the use cases, and we can use broad language, and I'll show you that, to make it more dynamic rather than deterministic. We want to simplify it as much as possible. And so the use case for this, again, is going to be sales inbound. Let's go ahead and start to build that out. So I'm just going to take this out right here. I'm going to take this out too. And so explaining the personality prompt and the flow builder, why have these two things? Why couldn't I just put this all here, right? I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to show you. Okay, so I just pulled up OpenAI real quick to show you. And by the way, it's really comes down to preference and ease of use, right? If you find it easier just to put it all in the prompt and it works well for you, do that by all means. This that I'm showing you right here is at a base level dynamically injecting a prompt in, right? And what does that mean? It means that all this stuff, right, which would be my starting state, my introduction, information collection, attribution reporting, my qualification, and appointment booking, is not all in the prompt at once. And why would you not do that? Why would you kind of switch them out? And the idea is, a lot of people, the biggest words in AI is hallucination, or quote unquote bot has gone off the rails. If I had $1 for every time I've heard that. And kind of why that happens is just like you as a human, if I were to give you 20 tasks all at once, and threw you in the ring with a customer for a business that you had no clue, what they did, how they operated, you only had just a limited amount of information, right? You only had this. You would still probably do okay, right? Especially if you were as smart as a large language model. But you may get overwhelmed at some points because you have these 20 tasks that you need to do, that someone told you need to do while you're on this conversation with this contact. The contact's going all over the place. They're doing things that's not accounted for, and so you're having to skip all over the place. That's why you get these quote-unquote hallucinations. That's why you get these quote-unquote bot off the rails, is it just gets a little confused. And it really comes down to personal preference, and what this is doing is just passing these individual prompts and appending them to this. So at any moment, I guess another good visualization here would be, we already have this prompt, which is the system prompt of the large language model. And then throughout the conversation, right, based on these states, we're just passing in, a specific prompt. Like for this one, for example, so, the call starts, this is what the prompt would look like to the AI. So we've given it a small task, it still kind of understands the context here. It has the conversation data, but we've given it a small task. And so it knows I need to do this, right? And it's not going to go and try to, book an appointment immediately. If someone's like, book an appointment, it's like, well, hold on real quick. Can you do this? Or, I need to ask you this first. It's going to stay focused and on target with this task that you've given it, because this is all it knows at the moment, right? And so say we move to this next one, just appointment booking, right? This is what it would look like to the AI to be in appointment booking mode. Same thing, right? Same personality, same everything there. But now you've given it a task in the conversation to do this specific thing. And so it just keeps the model focused a little bit more, and again, kind of mitigates the idea of hallucination, off the rail, confusion of going around. A good visualization of just here in OpenAI is you have your system prompt, right? So this is just copy and paste it over from this. So this is quote unquote a system prompt too, right? This is a system prompt. And what we're doing is just passing through, if you ever notice this down here, there's this little drop down and it says add run instructions. And so what this is a way to pass, situational instruction to the assistant for this specific run or this specific, completion, however you want to call it. And so we're able to pass variables in here, or pass prompts in here dynamically. And this is how you when you get into more complex LLM builds and, more complex AI builds, you start to utilize this because it keeps the model more deterministic. That may have all just been foreign language, but all to say that we have pre-programmed functions in the back. You have stages of the conversation, aka the state builder, and then we're just passing these along, right? So we understand that we're in this state, and then in this run it would look something like this, right? And it would do that until it's completed its task, and then the AI would let us know, I've completed my task, I'm going to move on to the next one. And this one just has an appointment booking, but same idea here is I've done my task, I'm ready to move on to the next thing. We say, okay, here's your next thing, and then we give it that. And of course, when it gets done here, there's instruction for it to hang up. But maybe that visualization can kind of give a little insight into why we kind of structure out states of a conversation to make it a little bit more focused and not necessarily deterministic, but we can kind of keep it on target. Again, rid of the hallucination, off the rail type thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this real simple. I'm going to say introduce yourself and ask the user how they heard about us. I'm going to say ask the user, is that how you got this number? And you'll notice as I prompt, again, using a task-based framework here, I'm kind of visualizing this conversation in my head, right? Like if someone called me in my business and it was like, hey, I was just calling this number because I found it, whatever, right? I'd say, this is Jordan. Thank you for calling. Well, how'd you hear about us? I heard about you from YouTube, right? And to gather more information, the natural thing wouldn't be like, okay, well, what's your name, right? I guess the natural thing next would just be like, well, is that where you got this number? And it's kind of a strategic thing. Again, we're trying to kind of lead this conversation to where we ultimately want it to end up in appointment booking. But also I'm trying to gather information. Like, they may have heard about us on YouTube, but they could probably elaborate into, well, I went to YouTube and I went to your landing page and then I went to your help docs and then I went to your school and the school is where I found this number. We can attribute it to school. Better track our metrics and then maybe even invest more time and effort into, beefing up those channels, right? And so as I'm kind of prompting this AI through this task-based framework for considering this kind of an introduction, I'm just keeping in mind in my head what this conversation may look like so I can kind of give an instruction to keep everything natural. So I'm going to tell it, introduce yourself, ask how they heard about us, and then ask, is that how you got this number? And then I'm going to say, inform the user and we'll see how well this plays out. This is where trial and error comes. And so the idea is introduce yourself, ask them how they got this number, and then we're just going to say, well, who am I talking with, right? Get their name. And then we can even move in here. I'll say affirm the user's answer. I'll leave it up, pin this to 3. Make it real easy. And I'm not going to collect the email right up front, right? I am not a huge person on like, give me your name and email and, yada, yada, yada. I'm more of leading into that, give first, get later, right? And so what I'm going to just say is, inform the user creatively that you can't see who's calling, ask them for their name in a joking manner, and affirm their answer, and move to the next state. Goal, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to save that state. And here's where we're going to get into just some qualification. Ask the user if they are an agency or business using GoHighLevel. And here's where we can get into conditionals. So I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to ask if they're a business or an agency using GoHighLevel. All right, space, dash. If the user is an agency or business using HighLevel, move to step 2. Because, there's really nothing we need to do there, but because we're so, platform specific with GoHighLevel, if they say HubSpot, there's really, at this moment, nothing we can do for them besides a REST API, right? So if the user is not an agency or business using GoHighLevel, inform the user that Assistable is platform specific to GoHighLevel, and ask the user if that is a problem for them. And again, just kind of a natural way of saying, like, are you coming to GoHighLevel or, or what? Now I'm going to do a conditional on a conditional. Space, 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 dash, dash. If the user says that is not a problem for them, ask the user if they are integrating. Let me expand this so you can probably see a little better. There you go. If they are considering a move to GoHighLevel, in the near future, guess what? Conditional, conditional. 3 dashes. Whoa, getting crazy. If the user is not considering a move to GoHighLevel in the near future, inform the user. We'll say thank the user. So inform the user that we are platform specific to high level, but we may consider integrations in the future. But for now, you won't waste their time. Thank them for their time. Answer queries and call the function and call to hang up. You following me here? We're getting a little bit complex. We have conditionals on conditionals here. We're almost working a dynamic tree. I told you we're going to get a little bit advanced. We haven't even gotten to step 2 yet, right? And so if the user is not considering a move to high level, great. And then the other part of that, if the user is considering a move to high level in the future, inform user that we have an affiliate code that can some additional trial days if they would like. That way we can move them onto the platform faster, get the affiliate revenue too. Woohoo. And so if it's not a problem for them, great. Let's go back. If the user, I'll move this just for visual purposes. If the user says that is a problem for them, or any indication of a problem, then thank the user for their time, sign off politely, and call the function and call to hang up. Alright, I think we have our conditionals for the first step. We can move to our next one. So if they're a business or agency using GoHighLevel, ask the user if they are currently using AI in their business now. Conditional here, 3 spaces dash. If the user is using AI in their business, ask the user what they use. If the user is not using AI in their business, ask the user why not. Easy enough. Trying to think if I want to expand on that. I don't want to expand on that. So we're going to ask them if they're using high level or not. some conditional set there because that's an important qualification metric. We're going to ask them if they're using AI in their business or not. If they are, ask them what they use. If the user is not using AI, okay. Based on their answer. Last question. The user is using AI. Ask the user why they are shopping around for something new. All right. We get those shiny object people. And we can at least see if it's a dissatisfaction with a service, and then again we can kind of use that to kind of cater future sales calls, right? If it's shiny object, I'm just checking some new things out. Last thing didn't work for me. This last thing, you know how it goes. Everything doesn't work until something does. And then we can again just kind of use that in verbiage and for onboarding too. So if someone is kind of going through shiny object syndrome, then we can kind of dial them in, because it's usually not the platform, it's usually the usage of the platform. But if they genuinely are having problems with a use case on their platform, we need to confirm that we can do it on ours and move forward. And so this key information I'll grab. If they're using AI, ask why they're shopping around. If the user is not using AI, ask I think I'll reword this. Ask the user what has prompted them to start now. And we'll just say ask the user if they would be open to seeing what our platform can do. Make a decision then. 5. Confirm their decision. Move to appointment booking. And I may do a conditional on this, but we may come back to that. We'll say move to the next date, or the next date. Okay, easy enough for qualification there. And then I'm just going to keep this exactly how it is. I have a variable for this, but it's not super relevant. And this should be fine. Yeah, it should be good to go. All right, so we have our 3 states there. There we go. And I don't think I'm going to do the custom function just yet. I'm going to make sure everything looks good here. And then let's call it to test it out. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to give this thing a quick call here. 619-4615. And we're just going to make sure that it's following the flow that we built.
Hi there. This is Haley from Assistable.ai. How did you hear about us?
Through YouTube.
Got it. Is that how you got this number?
No, I went to a landing page from the YouTube, actually.
I see. By the way, I can't see who's calling, so could you tell me your name? Don't worry, I won't forget it.
Okay, it's Jordan.
Nice to meet you, Jordan. So how can I assist you today? Are you interested in learning more about our AI building platform, or perhaps booking an appointment?
Well, I wanted to learn more. I saw this number on the website, so just wanted to give it a call.
Great. Our platform is designed to help GoHighLevel agencies create AI tools and services quickly and easily. Would you like to schedule a time to dive deeper into how Assistable.ai can benefit your agency?
Nope. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to self-reference something here. So I didn't love how she answered the phone here, right? Just like, introduce yourself. This is Haley. How'd you hear about us, right? So I may want to move this here. Introduce yourself. Inform the user you are glad to connect. That's how they heard about us. Ask the user how they got this number. Okay, I did like this. I may actually add here and say you don't recognize this number. I'm going to tell it instead the next state, then move to qualification. I'm going to call out the specific state itself because I think that may have been why it didn't move. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. That should be good. Let's take a look here. I think we're good. All right. So let's retry this call.
Hi there. This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
YouTube actually. I was scrolling through some videos of GoHighLevel and this came up.
Got it. Is that how I got this number?
Yeah, no, it was through a landing page.
Ah, I see. Well, I don't recognize this number, so who am I speaking with?
This is
Just
Jordan.
kidding.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm gonna pause that. I love that transition. That was actually really good, but I didn't want her to like say that just kidding after that, so I am gonna change that. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I went to go turn that alarm off. If you notice, I've been building AI for a good bit now, and it's all trial and error, right? Like seldom will you have an AI that you build and it's perfect the first time. I've gotten lucky a few times. This stuff all comes down to trial and error, right? And so we're just kind of testing our way through this framework, and then we're going to get the basics down right. We're going to get the foundation down right, and then we can worry about the fancy stuff. And so I'm going to take this out in a joking manner. Inform the user creatively that you don't recognize this number, then ask them for their name, affirm their answer, and then move to the qualification state. I'm just being very clear on that. I want to qualify. I may even add some context for the assistant to qualify the user. And move to the appointment booking state to book an appointment. Woohoo. Save state. There we go. Alright, let's try it again.
This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
A friend who I worked with, or I worked with a few years back, is actually using the platform, and so I was looking for an AI solution, and he mentioned the name, so now I'm here.
Got it. Is that how I got this number?
No, I got it off a landing page.
I see. I don't recognize this number. Could you please tell me your name?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Nice to meet you, Jordan. Let's get you qualified. What kind of AI solutions are you?
Okay. So I didn't notice I put you got this number. So it was like, this is like the thing I was talking about the last time when we're talking about prompt cadence, right? Whenever you're prompting, you want to speak to the AI in first person, right? Because that's how the AI is like reading your instruction in first person. So if I say you, it reads it as like, oh, me. And so this is a clear indication of that same aspect here. As I said, is that how you got this number? Now I was meaning like the contact or the user in this instance, right? But because I said how you got this number, the assistant read as, oh, how I got this number. But that was a good indication of prompt cadence and the roles in the conversation. So ask user, is that how they got this number? Creatively say qualification state to ask a few questions. We're getting there, one step at a time. This is how you get really crispy AI reps.
Hi there. This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
I was watching a YouTube video actually, and this platform came up.
Okay. Got it. Is that how you got this number?
No, I went to one of your videos, and then it took me to a website, and then this was on the website.
I see. I don't recognize this number, though. Can I get your name?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan. I'd like to ask you a few questions to better understand your needs. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Are you currently using GoHighLevel for your agency?
Yeah, we are.
Awesome. How are you currently handling AI tools and services for your clients?
Well, we don't. Not right now.
Got it. Are you looking to integrate AI tools into your offerings soon?
I'd like to, yeah.
Perfect. Assistable.ai can help with that. Would you be interested in booking a time to discuss how we can assist your agency?
Well, first I just didn't know about the pricing. Are you able to give me some pricing, or will that be covered on the call?
I can give you a brief overview now, and we can dive into the details during the call. Our pricing is designed to be flexible based on your needs. Would you like to schedule a call to discuss it further?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Let me check our calendar for available slots. 1 second. We have several slots available. How does tomorrow at 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern Time sound for you?
Do you have anything later?
We have some later slots available tomorrow. How about 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern Time?
Yeah, 4 p.m. works.
Just to confirm, you want to book the appointment at 4 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Let me block that time off for you. 1 second. All set, Jordan. Your appointment is booked for 4 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Looking forward to our chat. Have a great day.
Okay. Good. I think that was a good run through of kind of what I wanted here. I don't love the way that she said, to ask you a few questions to learn more, affirm the user's answers, and move to the qualification state to learn a little more about the user. Actually, let's frame this in context of like the AI, because it's gonna, it's AI. It's gonna generate something kind of based off of what I tell it. Again, this is all the AI is seeing right now, right? This is all that it has in the whole world. And so I'll say move to the qualification state. I want to say to learn a little bit more about what you have going on. I just had something in my head, but it just went away. To hear more. It's fine for right now. And this was fine. I didn't really kind of challenge it with not using high level or anything, but it went through the frameworks pretty well. I may come back to this. Okay. So, this framework is good. Obviously, could use a little wrenching, right? We could make it a little bit better, a little bit smoother. Honestly, I would deploy this today. It's fine. And this is what I'm always talking about. And I hope that seeing stuff like this is helpful. Is that a lot of people get analysis paralysis when they do things like this, right? Your AI doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I'll tell you right now, your AI will never be perfect. It will never account for every scenario under the sun and be 100% accurate and perfect all the time, every day, right? It's just not going to. That's just a fact of life. And so if you can kind of get that, in that frame of mind of this is not going to be perfect. I'm going to get it as well, suited for battle, for whatever use case you're going to use it for, right? We're going to give it all the resources we possibly could. It's like hiring an employee. You'll never have the perfect employee. But the best thing we can do is to work with them to get them up to speed, right? To train them on things that they need to know and to give them all the resources they need to do their job correctly. That is the frame of mind. When you're building AI, it's the same thing. And so my next concern here, my next task of my own, right, is I think this looks pretty good. I kind of want to add some peripheral information here for those specific cases. So I can see the number one case is pricing. Someone's going to ask about pricing. Someone's going to ask about, we can kind of cover that pricing and plans. They'll ask about the company, which this kind of covers, it's a brief description, to kind of cover that. They may ask about, and we'll say our products maybe, where we can give it a little bit, idea about. So they'll ask about the AI, they'll ask about the voice. I'm trying to think what else people usually ask about. Free trial can be covered in plans and pricing. We'll start with that, and then we'll work our way out. And again, even, by the way, it's just context is sometimes, again, you don't want to let analysis paralysis stop you from deploying this. In fact, the best training, the best exercises of AI and building AI is putting it in the battlefield and seeing, what the actual problem is. Because I can sit here right now while I'm here, because I'm going to use this one. And I can try to account for everything that I can think of. And I probably could for everything in the past, right? Because I have a lot of reps doing this one thing here myself. But there will be things that come up. And, rather than fearing that moment, I'm actually excited for that moment because I get to take that, put it into the AI, and then it's now accounted for as a scenario, right? It's going to happen. And all this, and I hope that's helpful, these frameworks, as we kind of go through and build these things that I think the biggest thing when building AI is people get kind of stopped on those different things, or they get real nuanced and a lot of the stuff, which you should be, and I am. But I also don't think you should let that stop you. So I think what we'll do here is I'll say our products. And what I'm going to do is, so there's kind of three ways to prompt here, and this is just going to be a side tangent, is there's like contextual stuff. So by the way, this is marked down for header 2, so I'm just deviating headers. You can do a bunch of stuff. You can do markdown like bolding, italicized. I see people do it all the time for different reasons. Make life really simple. Just use the hashtags. All right? Don't worry about header 1, 3, 4, bold, italicized. I mean, you'll not have a good day. Stick with the 2. That way you can header out your information. And so we have an example, right? Example section here. Like, so we're just, to the AI, we're conveying, here is something you need to know. It's an important, it's a header and then some information, just like when you're reading a document. And so we have some important information. There's a couple ways to convey this, and it depends on the information, right? Is we can convey this in like a, paragraph style here, right? Which is probably going to be something like a company overview, a brief description of a program, something like that. We have, bullet points, which is just going to be probably, again, like something you could probably bullet point, like, here's the steps of our program, or here's the benefits of our program. And then you have, list format, which is stuff like tasking things that need to be sequential and done in a sequential order. So those are the different types of ways you can convey data prompting to an assistant, or just AI in general. And so for our products, I'm gonna give it conversationally, I think, and I may reinforce it with some bullet points. And so I'm gonna say Assistable.ai offers both chat and voice AI for GoHighLevel agencies to white label. we'll probably go here to chat. AI includes assistants that have permanent conversation memory, knowledge bases, advanced functions like creating notes, self-scheduling, or sending emails. I may break this up. Permanent conversation memory and knowledge bases. Advanced functions like creating notes, self-scheduling, or sending emails. It's permanent conversation memory, advanced functions. Another one is queuing. Actually, let's focus on this last part. I'm just going to say okay. So just kind of hit on, has permanent conversation memory, knowledge bases, advanced functions, dynamically use them, and then we'll say it works in all GoHighLevel channels with no workflows at all. We use and the reason I'm elaborating on this is, how does it use no workflows? Well, we use our listener, which collects information from inbound and outbound messages in the sub account and feeds them to the assistant. And then we'll just hit on voice. Voice AI includes building assistants that can make outbound calls and take inbound calls. Our voice AI comes out of the box with functions like pushing contact info, booking appointments, and more. We also have a custom function builder, which allows you to build your own connections. So your voice AI is connected to the world. End quote. Fun stuff, right? Pricing and plans. So we'll say for chat, I'll give it some context first. Our pricing breaks down into two categories. Actually I'll say chat and white label. How can I convey this? Our pricing breaks down into chat / deployment and voice minutes. To access the platform, users pay a subscription to start with their chat AI and a certain amount of sub accounts. Then the user can add minutes to utilize their voice AI. And we'll say for chat here, 1 second. Okay, so we'll say to get started. I'll put this on here. To get started, users can pick one of the following subscriptions. We'll say 97. Gives you unlimited chat and voice assistance, 10 minutes of free call time, and 1 sub account to deploy in. And I think the next one is 225. Gives you unlimited chat and voice. Just gonna copy this over. We have the 450, 997, so 450. This may be boring, but you wanted to build AI. Unlimited chat voice. This is going to be 3 sub accounts, 10 sub accounts, and then unlimited. In addition to those plans, our voice AI starts at 18 per minute, with packages allowing you to get scaled pricing as low as say 11 cents per minute for an enterprise plan. Any other? That may be good. It's fine. That'll carry through. And so I think that's probably gonna answer 99.9% of questions. Again, it's not gonna be perfect. I'll figure it out once people start calling it. You figure it out real quick. I kind of liked everything there. Now, I like the flow builder. This is nice. This is going to cover some context for questions. All this works well. Book the appointment. The first time we did it, the second time we did it. Again, as long as you kind of set it up in those steps. I've to this day booked thousands of appointments with my AI and haven't had a hiccup yet. So let's add a custom function here. So I'm going to push some stuff to the sub account. Don't let custom functions overwhelm you. This is just your ability to build, a connection to the outside world, mostly to high level, right? It's just kind of the easiest thing. But, when you see this is kind of a little bit overwhelming, maybe it gives a little bit of appreciation to these all being kind of a similar thing, just a little bit more advanced because they require a wealth connection to high level. But don't let it overwhelm you. I've tried to give you as much tools as you can to kind of build this out, and you just need to follow these steps, right? So we're going to name it. We're going to say, we already have update info up there, so I'm going to just say send info to CRM. Be really specific there. And so I'm just going to say call this function after gathering this information from the user. Call this function, actually to simplify it, call this function to push the collected information to the CRM for the user's contact. Alright, that should be fine. Endpoint, so I'm going to set up an endpoint. I'm actually going to go into my stuff here. So again, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to say this is, just going to put it on the forefront up there. I'm going to say this is inbound sales voice AI. Send information. Or we'll just say collect information. Doesn't matter what it's called on this side. Alright, and so again, let's not let this overwhelm you here, right? All we're doing at a base level is sending information somewhere else. And without going too deep into it, there's two ways that technology talks to each other via an API, which is we send data, right? With a post request, we get data back, typically. Or like this, a webhook, which is just a one-way communication. We're just sending something, and then obviously the response is they received it. In this instance, HighLevel has they have the inbound webhook, right? But it's not an API. So, we're not going to get data back from this. The assistant will just know that it was a successful fill, right? And not even that the information itself was successful in filling, but that it was a successful connection to HighLevel. That's kind of the pro and con of webhook. It's easy, but it's also easy to mess up. And so when you think of this as this is just a referenceable name, right? The AI doesn't know what this does. This is just a way for you to reference it in the prompt. This kind of tells the AI, in a general sense, right? All else fails. You never put this in the prompt. If this scenario comes up, what do I do to call this function? Or what does this function do, right? So call this function to push, information to the CRM. And you can even do, for example, if a user asks this, yada, 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 then use this function to answer that question. So it's just this is a way to convey to the assistant what this thing does, right? The endpoint URL is just a place that we're going to send the data. It's an easy way to say, where's this going? Well, for us, it's going to HighLevel. It's going, in fact, here. Right there. And then JSON schema. So you're like, oh my gosh. I spent my whole life trying not to code, and here I am coding. Made it really easy. I have a JSON formatter. So I'm going to show you how to use this really easily. So for example, I have a model here that's got some exemplar, and all you really have to do is just tell it what you need. So I'm going to say I need to send and this is where I'll kind of reference those questions that I asked. I need to send, what information did I collect? I really didn't collect much information. Using AI or not, what they use, using HighLevel or not, and then I'm gonna probably go back in there, how many sub accounts they have. I may even grab their website too and scrape the website, take a screenshot of it, do something on the post call. And the website. That's fine. Okay. That's it. Try to make it really easy to build this stuff. I really do care. When it comes to doing this stuff, I know AI and GoHighLevel is already hard enough, so I do my best to make it as easy as I can. And it probably doesn't need to be said, but just an explanation of what's going on here in case maybe you want to use an external system to build this out, or maybe you even want to give it a shot yourself. And so we're just saying, we're sending an object here to HighLevel. An object is, in code speak, we're sending a bundle of data. And so we have some, in this bundle of data, we have some specific things, right? Or just in code world, you have to, it's not intuitive. It's intuitive, but you have to lay everything out for a computer. So we have this bundle. It's got some things in it. What does it have in it? It has using AI. That's a Boolean, meaning it's true or false. They're either using it or they're not. And then we're just telling the AI, because in this aspect, traditionally when you send something to an API, it would be using AI and it would just be true, right? So like, we're sending that data. However, we don't know that data. It's the assistant's job to collect that data. And so, what we're telling the AI is you need to send this to high level, right? This is the type that I want you to send, true or false. And then the information that I want you to put here, I'm describing as whether the user is using AI or not. And so you can just kind of see that form go all the way down. I need you to send something to high level. What? Using GoHighLevel. Okay, well, what is it? It's a Boolean, true or false. Well, what do I know what to put here? Whether the user is using GoHighLevel or not. True, false. Same thing here. I need you to send this to high level. What am I sending? Subaccounts. Well, what is it? It's an integer. It's a count of subaccounts, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the description for the assistant is the number of subaccounts the user has. And then website, kind of following the same cadence. I won't bore you. Just write this down real quick. And here again, just kind of some keys for making things seem more conversational. Again, AI is not only the crafting of AI, but the illusion, its magic of making this thing seem autonomous, right? The AI for the most part is very smart and autonomous, but you can also do stuff, especially when it's connected and maybe even a little bit deterministic like this, especially with functions and task-based frameworks. We can give the illusion of a very, very, very smart AI, something that really blows people's minds. So let's say it's been so great talking with you. Let me write this down real quick so I don't. Let me write all of this down real quick so I don't forget. So that's a boom. And so now we have to send we have to initialize this in high level, right? So like we don't have a sample map. I'll show you an easy way to do this. The way I do it is just, I'm going to take the name. Again, these are all referenceable names here. I'm going to take the name. I'm going to go to my flow builder. I'm going to go to starting state. I'm just going to replace this. Call the function ask the user the data and send the request to the CRM. I'm just going to put it on the forefront here. So it's like answer the phone, send it out because I need to initialize it. And so we're going to do that real quick. So I'm going to call it. It's probably going to ask me those questions and then send that info to GoHighLevel.
Hi there. This is Hallie from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
YouTube.
Got it, YouTube. Is that how you got this number?
Yep.
Interesting. I don't recognize this number. Could you please...
That was service. Oh. Connected to Bluetooth headphones. Hey, I'm trying to map something real quick. Can you call the function send info to CRM and ask me, whatever data you need and just go ahead and send that over?
Sure thing. Let's get the information I need to send to the CRM. First, are you currently using GoHighLevel, GHL?
Yep.
Great. Are you currently using any AI tools?
Yep.
Awesome. Could you please provide your website URL?
Yep. It's Assistable.ai.
Perfect. Thank you. Lastly, do you have?
15.
It's been so great talking with you. Let me just write all of this down real quick so I don't forget. It seems there was an issue sending the information. Let's continue with the conversation.
So let's do a little triage here. So why would it have an issue? I think this may be, let's check this. Here, example endpoint, is this the same thing? Oh, yep. Oh, it had the example endpoint on the back end of it. Duh. There you go. Technology, man. Can only be so good. That's fine. We'll just do that. Gotta love it. So to explain what happened there is example, endpoint is what we have in the custom function just to kind of outlay. It's like a default value. I pasted it in front of it. I didn't take it out. It's 99% of problems.
This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
Can you call the function send info to CRM?
Sure thing. I'll need a bit more information to send to the CRM. First, how did you get this number?
I think it was YouTube.
Got it, thanks. I don't recognize this number. Could you please tell me your name?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Nice to meet you, Jordan. Could you tell me a bit more about your business? Are you currently using GoHighLevel or any AI tools?
Call the function send info to CRM.
Sure, I can do that. I'll need a few more details to complete the process. 1, are you currently using GoHighLevel? 2, are you using any AI tools? 3, what's your website? 4, how many sub-accounts do you have?
Yes, using AI. Yes, I'm using GoHighLevel. I have 15 sub accounts, and the website is Assistable.ai.
It's been so great talking with you. Let me just write all of this down real quick so I don't forget. Thanks for sharing that information, Jordan. Everything is noted down. Would you like?
Thanks. Okay. There we go. Using GoHighLevel, using AI. Website, 15 sub accounts. We'll save that. Save that. Contact ID. They don't have contact ID on this one, so I'm just gonna use find contact by contact ID. Reference it here, and this should be contact ID right here. That way we can collect this and then we can fill it in some custom values. Okay, give me 1 second and I'm going to show you something fun with these functions so that we can scale our prompt down a little bit more. Okay, so before we get too crazy into scaling down prompts with functions and things like that, I know some people are doing a custom function or even anything with webhooks or JSON data is new to a lot of people. And so I'm going to show you how to map these things to fields in GoHighLevel, right? And so we have our custom function built here. And so we kind of walk through, what it is, right? This is just a referenceable name. It's what the AI sees. It sees, oh, send info to CRM. Don't know what that does. The description tells them, oh, send info to CRM. I can call this function to push collected information to the CRM. Wow. Where do I do it? I do it here. What am I sending? I'm sending all this stuff. Beautiful thing is you don't have to do this. Just format your JSON. And then speech is just while it's doing this thing, right? Which could cause latency. Let's do an interim message of, again, kind of forming this into the conversation, making it more natural. And once you do that, so kind of like I showed, there before of where we came in here and we mapped the reference, right? And we go here and true Assistable AI 15, right? And maybe even what I want to do, again, it's just kind of, as you learn playing around with this stuff. So I see website, I see it doesn't have like a .ai, right? So I may come back here to my custom function and say the website of the user in proper HTTPS format. There we go. Just so I know it's sending in a specific format. And so we've set this up. We've called it to the CRM, right? We've mapped the fields. Easy enough. This is under arguments, right? Now what? We have to map it somewhere, right? And go high level. And so what we'll do for these is I don't have custom fields to map these to, so I'm gonna go create them. And it's just a way, again, because of kind of restructuring our client acquisition system. It's a way to collect info that you can reference later. And so I'll add a folder here. I'm just gonna call it AI sales data. I'll probably come back and restructure all this, but just for right now, I'm gonna do a little folder. And I'm gonna do here. That's fine. I'm gonna say using GHL ? Because it's gonna be true or false. And then same thing, single line input using AI ? It's gonna be true or false. I can use a number here, but can't reference variables in a number field in high level, so I'm just going to use a single input and say sub accounts number. That's fine. I'll move these around later. And the last one was their website, which I can fill that in GoHighLevel general field. And so I just need these 3 custom ones. Easy enough. I'll go back here to here. And I think I had it right there. So we have our webhook. We're finding our contact, right? So we got a bunch of data here, and it's like, well, what do we do with it? Well, the number one thing is we're gonna have to find out, who this is for. We're just sending random data in a random place. We send you all that info. So we got to find out, who's this even for? And so we do a find contact, which is just it's a go high level action here. Find contact. So we're just finding the contact by contact ID, and then we give you the contact ID in a variable. You can just search contact ID and you'll see it. All right. And so now what? So we need to update some contact fields. The first one's going to be their website, which is going to be website, args website. So these were arguments, right, of a call. So each one of these things was like, we have this object and the arguments are, it's data in between. So these are referenceable. You'll see args website. The other thing was using AI ? Args using AI. There we go. And then using GHL. Using GHL. And I don't remember the last thing. It was website and then sub accounts. Sub account number. So now those are mapped. We're going to update. We get this from the assistant with the data that we've been given. We're going to find the contact by contact ID. And then we're going to update these fields with the data that the AI sent from this function. I know it's complex, but to break it down one more time, this is just the name of it, referenceable to you in prompting, referenceable to the AI as something it can do. All right, and the description tells the AI in a tangible way, right? Again, like if you don't directly call it out, what this thing does. So if it needs to do it autonomously in the conversation, it can do it. The endpoint URL is just saying where are we doing this thing at? Where is this going? The JSON schema is just saying what do we send in there? And again, we have this builder. Just tell it what you need. It'll build it for you. Sometimes as we train this model, You will get something, where it's like this at the end. It's just the AI output response. Make sure you delete those, right? It should just be pure raw code. It shouldn't be comments or dots or anything. Again, as we continue to tune up this model, that may pop up, but just get rid of that. It needs to be raw code here. And then speech is just what it's going to say while it's doing the thing. And so then we go here, right, in high level, and then we have, it sent this, right? So it sent it, and we can see it by the arguments here. It sent it to this URL because we put that URL here. It sent this data that we told it to collect and send. It sent it. All right, and now that we have the data, we're just finding the contact by the contact ID, the unique identifier for the contact in GoHighLevel. And then we're taking the data that the assistant has sent us and we're mapping it to where we need it to be. While we're here, I know this is a long video, but I'm hoping that this covers a lot of questions, especially those who want to build. If this is a tad too overwhelming, again, like I said, make it simple on you, make it simple on your clients. Simple work, simple sells. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff. Just make one that books and do a task-based framework, and it should work really well. But if you have a more complicated use case where you need to explore these different functionalities, there's a lot of things you can do with this. So I'll even tell you this is just something that we can do, something that you can do. You can send no data and just use this as a trigger, right? So I can maybe even put dummy data here, right? Like yes or no. I can make it a deterministic thing for the AI to decide. And I'll show you this with an appointment confirmation one, right? Where the data is not necessarily relevant, but it's just calling to check. We're just calling to trigger a workflow based on it calling that function. And then you can also scale your prompting down, because the name of the game with AI in general is do more with less prompt. The more prompt you have increases the latency of model, not only in voice but chat, right? The more prompt you have, the more the AI needs to think, the more context it needs to take in, makes it slower, makes it confused. So the name of the game is always to do more with less. And so because this is a fun concept, because the AI knows if you tell it to call this function, right? So if I go there instead of doing a qualifying section and I say, which mine's a little nuanced, I have some if-else's, but if you're just, asking qualifying question to collect that info, instead of writing out this long prompt to ask each question, you can just tell the AI to call this function conversationally. And instead of writing out each one of these individual questions, right, or data points, by calling the function, the AI needs to collect those data points. And so you don't have to tell it to ask those questions. It will do it on its own. I'll have an example of that later. But it's just a fun concept to wrap your mind around, where you're able to kind of, again, scale your prompt down, by using functions. And so I think we're good here. We have everything mapped here. This is just information collection, so nothing crazy we need to do there. Let's go back to the flow builder, and I'm just going to call this out, right? So it could do this, but I'm just going to have it call it out. And so, are you an agency using high level? Shopping around, prompted them now. I could probably even scale that down, but I think we're going to add. I'm just going to add my questions in manually because I do have if-else's. Rather, if I didn't have these if-else's, I would just say call the function and collect that info. But I have some if-else's I want to do here. So the other thing was, so inform the user that we can train an AI on their website. Let them know it's pretty cool. Ask the user for their website, and inform the user you will send them a customized training for their business afterwards. Just a fun way to collect a website. So I think I have all my data besides sub accounts. I think we can probably add this here. This is going to be my new for. Ask the user how many sub accounts do they need AI for. Inform the user. 5, 6. The function. Alright, we're looking pretty strong. Just gonna steal it from here because I need to take this out anyway. Okay. So we call the function here to push the collected information to the CRM. Ask the user. Okay. So we have our starting state. We have our qualification with our conditionals, our function call, and our appointment booking. The flow that's already in there is really good. I wouldn't mess with it. The only thing is confirming the selected date and time. Some people don't like that. I like it just because one, it's a little bit more deterministic, and it also kind of frameworks and solidifies that appointment time to the AI's mind. Takes out a lot of guesswork. Again, just error mitigation. So I'm updating that. I think everything else looks good. I think we're ready for our first full run through. So we have our prompt with all of our context, all of our identity, persona, response, style guidelines. We have our appropriate model. We have our flow builder with all the flows that I need for this conversation with what will be an inbound lead from the website. We have our pre-call, post-call webhook set up. Calendar for booking is attached. All the functionality I need in the whole world is there, along with my custom function to send collected data to the CRM. It is mapped in the CRM here, and then we have our post-call and pre-call webhook under there. Okay. I think we're ready for our first full run through. Okay, so let's give her a call.
Hi there. This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
YouTube, actually.
That's awesome. Is that how you got this number?
Yeah. There was a link in the bio of one of the YouTube videos, and we clicked on that. We had to move around the websites, but we eventually found this number and just called it.
Got it. I don't recognize this number, though. Can I get your name?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Great to meet you, Jordan. Can you tell me a bit more about your business?
Yeah, we are an agency, a roofing agency. So we, run ads and, we do the traditional, digital marketing type stuff.
Yeah.
And we use GoHighLevel to do it. And we just, everyone's using AI right now. So we're just looking for some AI to use.
That sounds like a perfect fit for what we offer. Are you currently using any AI tools, or is this your first venture into AI?
We use things like ChatGPT. We haven't used any conversational AI, so this is the first time that we're exploring it.
Got it. And how many sub-accounts do you have in GoHighLevel?
19 right now.
Thanks for sharing that, Jordan. Let me just jot this down real quick so I don't forget. 1 second. Thanks for your patience, Jordan. Would you like to schedule a time to discuss how Assistable.ai can help your agency?
Sure.
1 second while I check our calendar. We have several slots available. How does next Monday at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern Time sound to you?
Wait, what day was that?
How about next Monday at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern Time? Which one works better for you?
You don't have anything sooner?
Sure thing. How about this Thursday at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern Time?
Can you do later in the day, like 3?
Absolutely. We have a slot this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Does that work for you?
Yep.
Let me block that time off for you 1 second. You're all set for this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Looking forward to our chat, Jordan. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.
You're all set for this Thursday.
All right, looking pretty good, right? Filled out the information we needed. It didn't ask me the website, so I'm going to go back and take a look at that to be a little bit more deterministic with it. I don't think I have the website filled out on this one. No. No. So let's reinforce that. Appointment booking, flawless again. Typically, as long as everything is synced up correctly, usually never a problem with it. These AIs are at the point where they're pretty smart, and our connection to high level is pretty solid. So I want to look at, here. Maybe some accounts. Inform the user that we can train the AI. I don't think it asked me that. Did it ask me that? Creatively ask user for their website so that we can send them something after the call. Once you have their website, call the function. Okay. I think we're looking pretty solid. Okay. Let's try it.
Hi there. This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
I just found the website on Google.
Got it. Is that how you got this number?
Yeah, it was on your landing page, so I just decided to call it.
Interesting, I don't recognize this number. Could you tell me your name?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Nice to meet you, Jordan. Can you tell me a bit about your business?
Yeah, we're a solar agency. So we do ads, so like Facebook ads, and we do the follow up afterwards. And we were just wanting to use AI to close more leads for our customers, so that we can resell AI to our clients.
That sounds like a great fit for what we offer. Are you currently using GoHighLevel for your agency?
Yep, we use GoHighLevel.
Perfect. How many sub-accounts do you have in GoHighLevel?
Right now I think we have 15 or so.
Great. And are you currently using any AI tools, or is this your first venture into AI?
Oh, we're trying out GoHighLevel's conversational AI, but we just didn't love it. So we're just kind of looking at options now.
Got it. Thanks for sharing that, Jordan. Let me just jot down this information real quick so I don't forget. 1 second. All set, Jordan. Would you like to schedule it?
I think what we'll do is we'll separate these two things, because this may just kind of be seen as a longer task. So this is like a task, but this really isn't. So we'll make this a subtask, right? So I think everything is good. I think what I'll probably do to scale this down to, just to make it easier, is if they're using AI, ask what they use. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. I did the wrong one. If the user and on the back half of that, do the same thing here. Should I get these flopped again? The same thing twice. If they are using AI, ask them why they're shopping for something new. Okay, I had that right to begin with. If they're not using it, ask them why not. And then ask the user, which prompted them to start looking now. Then move to step 3. That looks okay to me. So we can take this out. Alright, we can make this 3. I'm just putting in these, like, guiding it on the steps because I wanted to ask each one of these things pretty deterministically. Creatively ask for their website. There we go. Let's try her again. Trial and error, building AI all day long. That's what it is. I mean, even like right now, even walking through all this and explaining it, which I know, like I said, this is long, but this should give you a lot of context for, building more complex ones. I could probably have this same thing built if I wasn't filming and wouldn't, explaining everything. I'd have this done in 30 minutes. So pretty easy, for the money that you could charge, a business that's, so you take a consulting business doing 3 million, where they have inbound, outbound reps, and you replace, a good bit of it or enable them to move those people around and either save them a lot of money, save them a lot of time, or make them more money. You become a very valuable partner, product, whatever you want to call yourself.
Hi there, this is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
From YouTube. I was just looking at YouTube videos and you guys popped up.
Got it. Is that how you got this number?
Yeah. I went to a landing page from the YouTube, and then this number was on it.
I see. I don't recognize this number, though. Can I get your name, please?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan. So I'd love to hear a bit more about your business. What kind of work do you do?
We run a med spa agency, actually. So we manage med spas, ads on Facebook, and then we do the follow up afterwards. And we were just wanting to use AI to, handle that follow up and book more appointments for our clients.
That sounds great, Jordan. Using AI for follow ups and booking appointments can definitely streamline your process. How many sub accounts do you currently manage for your med spa clients?
I think we have 15.
Got it, 15 sub accounts. Are you currently using GoHighLevel or any AI tools in your operations?
Yeah, we use GoHighLevel, and no, not any AI yet. We tried the GoHighLevel conversational AI, and it just wasn't the best. So we're just kind of looking for other options.
Understood. It sounds like you're looking for a more effective AI solution. Let me just jot down this information real quick so I don't forget. One moment, please. Thanks for your patience, Jordan. Now, would you like to book an appointment to discuss how Assistable.ai can help your med spa agency?
So we're still not, she's still not wanting to pull the website. So let's see if I need to reframe my prompting or the way I'm, telling them to ask for that, that specific piece of information, right? Because that may not be the best way. So what I'm going to do here is I'll be right back, and we're going to solidify this prompt a little bit. Okay, so everything's going good through here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the AI because again, like, back to that whole framework of it can only see this, and the other stuff there is, I'll give it a little bit of context here and say, follow the steps provided and make sure to ask each question one at a time, and ask them one at a time conversationally. And then let's just look at, so ask the user for their website, so you can send them a customized training after or before their meeting, or after the call, because they haven't scheduled the meeting yet, after the call. And then once you have the website, call the function. Easy enough. Let's see if that a little bit of context and again, additional prompting put us where we need to be.
This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
Through YouTube.
Thanks. Did you get this number from the same source?
Yeah. So we were on the YouTube page, and then there's a link in there, so we followed the link, and it led us to this number. This number was on the page.
Got it. I don't recognize this number though. Can I get your name?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Nice to meet you, Jordan. Can you tell me a bit more about your business?
Yeah, so we're a social media marketing agency for software companies. So we go out to software companies and we run ads, we manage their social media, and we're just kind of looking for AI to do the appointment booking on the back end.
That sounds great, Jordan. Are you currently using GoHighLevel or any AI tools in your business?
Yeah, we're using GoHighLevel. No AI right now, though.
Uh-huh. Awesome. How many sub-accounts do you have in GoHighLevel?
I think right now we have 32.
Perfect. And do you have a website for your agency?
Yep, it's going to be medspafuel.com.
Thanks for sharing that, Jordan. One moment while I jot this down. Thanks for your patience, Jordan. Now, would you like to schedule a demo to see how Assistable.ai can help with your appointment booking?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for waiting, Jordan. Let me check our calendar for available demo slots. One moment, please. We have several slots available. How does tomorrow at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern Time sound to you?
Let's do 11 a.m.
Let me block that time off for you 1 second. All set, Jordan. Your demo is scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Looking forward to it. If you have any questions before then, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right. And that's right on spot where I need it to be. The only other thing I want to change is this verbiage around asking them for this number. So you don't recognize this number. I'm going to say the user's number. You don't recognize the user's number, then ask them for their name. I think that's pretty solid. This is the one I'm going to put on the website. I'll probably change it, right? Like after, after everything kind of goes through, and collect a little data from people calling it, I'll be able to add some more stuff and tangibly kind of see like what needs to be added, what doesn't. But that's the name of the game with AI. Again, it's never going to be perfect, but you can get it as close as you can, and you won't be able to, but with contacts coming through, and you're able to get live data from the calls themselves, then you can do some pretty fun stuff. So the last thing I know, we're already an hour 30 into this, so let's do a little fun stuff with this post-call webhook here. So a lot of people, it's not just for like sending and collecting data, afterwards. We can also do it, one, to keep up with metrics on calling, and two, we can use it for, follow up after the call. So I think this is the one, post call webhook here. And this is the right one. C60. Yep, that's the right one. So what I'm going to do is find it by the ID. So this is the one we set up in the, the training earlier. I'm going to just set a small wait time here of just half a minute, 30 seconds. And so what I'm just going to do is just synthetic delay. For dramatic effect. All right. We don't just text them right when they get off the phone. And even then, in a more practical sense, I'll probably put this to 5 or 10 minutes, right? And what I want to do here is I want to check something, right? I want to check my call to action is for them to book an appointment. They may or may not have done that. I have no clue. So I want to say, did they book an appointment with the voice AI? And we'll know that they did in the same way like the follow-up works. We'll know that they did if they're active. So I'm going to use active for this one because I would usually, in a perspective of like lead magnets and things like that, I would use just if they have an appointment. But I already know when I put this on the website, we have some people who go out and they call it and they call multiple times and yada yada yada. So what I'm going to do is just, say, is the workflow contact active in our sales appointment confirmation reminder? So they're actively in a booking sequence now. Not that they booked 3 months ago, but that they're actively in it now. Meaning, yes, they booked an appointment. And if no, then, then we'll have some verbiage around that. So what we'll do is we have this delay for effect. Did they book an appointment? If they did, we'll just send a quick message. Appointment booked. Follow up. Let me just make this shit. Okay. I think we can even reference an appointment of theirs. I don't remember if you can do that or not. I think you can. Appointment. Actually, I'm not even gonna think of high level messing that up. Looking forward to connecting soon. Just a quick follow up. And then obviously, if they didn't, so you didn't end up booking a time to connect. Are you actively looking for AI now, or just trying out some stuff? And then because this is an inbound call, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tag the user with what will be, not this one. This is just a testing one, but we're going to activate chat assistant with a tag. So I'll put my sales chat assistant's tag in here so that it can, if they say anything here, it can follow up with that conversation. And so now, here's what we're going to do is we'll test it out by going to the contact. Taking me out of these workflows and then remove that and then remove that and then remove the confirmation. So this is a demo appointment confirmation. So let me, because I have the demo calendar on. Duh. Triage. It's two complex systems talking to each other. You really gotta pay attention to the peripherals here. Okay, so that's good. So I'm just gonna reset this here with, the proper check. So it's gonna be demo appointment confirmation. And for testing, this is just gonna be 0 minutes. So I want to, 6 seconds, whatever. Okay. Let's give it a call. Let's run through it. Let's book an appointment with it, and let's see if it, everything captures.
Hi there. This is Haley from Assistable.ai. I'm glad we could connect today. How did you hear about us?
It was through YouTube.
Got it, YouTube? Is that how you got this number?
Yeah, funny enough, this number was in the description.
Interesting. I don't recognize this number, though. Could you tell me your name?
Yep, it's Jordan.
Nice to meet you, Jordan. I'd love to hear a bit more about your business. What kind of work do you do?
I run a consulting company.
That's great. Do you currently use GoHighLevel or any AI tools in your consulting business?
Yep, we use GoHighLevel. We haven't used any AI yet. That's why we're shopping around.
Perfect. How many sub-accounts do you have in GoHighLevel?
Just ours, so just one right now.
Got it, just one sub-account. Let me jot this down real quick. One moment. Thanks for sharing, Jordan. Would you be interested in booking an appointment to discuss how Assistable.ai can help your consulting business?
Yep, why not?
1 second while I check our calendar. We have several slots available. How does next Monday at 10 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. sound to you?
11:30 is fine.
Just to confirm, you want to book the appointment for next Monday at 11:30 a.m., right?
Yep.
Let me block that time off for you. 1 second. All set, Jordan. Your appointment is booked for next Monday at 11:30 a.m. Looking forward to speaking with you then. Have a great day.
Yep. See ya.
All set.
All right, and so now we're in this, and so we'll just make sure that everything's gone here. I'm in the post call. It's waiting 6 seconds, and then deterministically, if we're in that workflow or not. There we go. It's great speaking with you. Looking forward to connecting soon, which was our peripheral for a booked appointment. So this is, I think this is pretty good. There's some other stuff that we can do to play around with it, but I think again, have fun with it. Don't overcomplicate it, especially if you're prone to analysis paralysis. I think something even simple works wonders. I'm actually going to run this not only with a ton of volume and ads directly to a landing page with this number on it, but I'm going to actually make our landing page this number. So this is the one I'm going to run with. I think it's pretty much set up to where I need. Is it perfect? No. No AI is, no person is, nothing will ever be perfect. But this is good enough to get out there in the field and start actively testing to see what actual information I need so I can come back and refine it. And just, it's a work in progress always. So I hope this is helpful. Super long video, but you got to see a lot of things. You got to see, the use of functions and custom functions. You got to see me triage some stuff, things don't always go according to plan. You get to hopefully kind of see the thought process behind, fixing those things. You get to see, the post-call webhook in action and follow up based on a condition from the post-call webhook. You got to see the appointment booking, and again, without fail every single time. You got to see the use of the flow builder, You get to see, using the system prompt, to a pretty, good standard for what we need it for. And it just kind of ties everything together here of, our personality prompt, our individual states of the conversation, calling those functions and using that to qualify and push information into high level. For example, sub account number, and then booleans on usage and things like that. And then you can even see it activated my sales assistant there. And kind of the full suite of stuff here. Again, you can get a lot more complex, and there's even some fun stuff. A separate video. It's a world of possibility out there, but I think this should get you to where you need to be to at least build some really cool stuff. And then I'll continue to kind of almost like a series add more stuff into this of how you can even utilize functions even further. And I'll show you, because what I'm going to build after this is going to be my appointment confirmation. So it's going to call them right before their appointment, say just making sure you can make it. If they can, it's going to, it's not going to do anything. The appointment's already happening, but if they can't, it's going to cancel it, and then chat's going to follow up to reschedule. So a lot of fun stuff down the pipeline. Probably build that right after this one. So I hope this is helpful. An hour and 45 minutes. So it should be good enough for context and stuff. So there you go. There's your first taste of advanced voice AI building, live, smooth operation. So hope that's helpful. Happy Wednesday.